Welcome to the Shine No Grind Show, the #1 show on YouTube, where we take you through the process on different successes in life. Today's episode is called The System, the Government, the People, the Social Workers. People who take children away from the homes, people who get their kids taken away and stuff like that. I've never got my children taken away, but I have family members who have, and it's a process. It's a very touchy process. The reason being is I'm not making this about race, but I'm gonna need you black folks to wake up, okay? Because they have a fields day in taking your children. They make it harder for you to get them back, and it takes, I don't know how long, but it takes a long time for you to get your children back. Now, there's a process on going about it. You can either do it the system way, the way they tell you to do, what you gotta do. You gotta do this. Or you could try to do it your way, which is God knows what you're going to do, because as a mother or as a father who really cares about their children, they're going to go through hell and high water, and they're going to do whatever it takes by any means necessary in survival mode to get their children back. And they don't care what you say, what you do. They're going to do whatever. I have known some people to do that, and I really, really wanted to get them on today's show, but it doesn't work like that. They don't answer, and that's okay. But I really felt that this show needed to touch on that because it's very serious. And I went through like a pre-trial of just seeing it with my own eyes. You get what I'm saying? So I would per se say that the process on the system and them taking your children and getting your children back is God. That's the only way you're going to get your children back. You're going to have to go through him. You're going to have to get the wisdom that he's going to give you. You have to get the discernment on what to do and what not to do, what to say and what not to say. It's just the only way out. You really need to stay in your word, no matter what you believe. Because there's only one truth, and that is through Jesus Christ. That's the only way you're going to get. And it's not my perspective. It's just what it is, regardless if I believe or not. Jesus is the truth. God is the truth. He all the same person. But anyway, that's not the topic of this show. But all I'm saying is if you really, really care, or if you really, really want your children back, you're going to have God on your side, because the favor of God can move mountains. I promise you, he can move mountains for you, and it can happen. Now, the process of doing that is, I wish I could have got them on this show. Knowing who you are. Getting to know God is a good way to getting to know who you are. You might not think, oh my God, that has nothing to do with me getting my kids back. And it has everything to do with getting your kids back. Because it's a thing that you have to go through mentally. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, I know people who has gotten their children taken away. And it's a mental process. You get what I'm saying? You would never want that on your worst enemies. There's things that teachers might ask at the school, anything. So you just got to prepare your children off top to go through that, to not be able to even step foot. Because you can get your children took for anything nowadays. You get what I'm saying? And if you feel like, oh my gosh, my kids wasn't even in the situation. My kids weren't even here when this situation happened for me to even, or I didn't even really do that to my child for you guys to take. You get what I'm saying? They might this, that, and the third. But it's crazy, yo. I really feel for people who got their kids taken away. And if you've gotten your kids taken away before, I really want you to comment down below and share some of your processes that you went that might help someone else in need, in time of need, because that is very hard on anyone. It's hard on me, and I'm not even the parent. You get what I'm saying? Just to know that person is going through that is just very hard. So basically the process on one, people who do have your children, teach them what to say and what not to say and how to stay in their word, because when you have a godly foundation, there is nothing that cannot be done. There's things that teachers will ask to try to see, and sometimes they have to report that, and then there goes your kids gone in the system, because the system does not care about your children. Let me tell you, for those who are still asleep and don't understand and ain't woke up to what's really going on behind the scenes, when your kids get taken away, the longer they stay away from you, the more money they make. And that's just telling the bald-faced truth. And then for you being black on top of that, they have a field day, and that's the reason why more jails are being created. That's the reason why more bad schools are being created for them to send your children off to that school. And they're not even taking care. They're just there to get a check. They're just like an adult babysitting club for students or your children, or whatever the case might be. And foster care, you're very rarely going to find a family that actually really cares. So you really don't want your children put in that predicament. Like I said, I've never really went through that. So it's kind of a really hard subject to talk about, because I'm only going off what God is telling me right now, because like I said, I have not been in that situation, so I don't know what to tell you experience-wise, but I can tell you by the wisdom of God that you need to have a godly foundation if you want your children back, or if you don't want your children taken away. Some people might say, well, I do have a godly foundation, and I still got my kids taken away. Then that right there, you need to sit down with God and ask, is there something that I was not obedient with? Is there something that I might took for granted? Is there something that I have sinned and did not repent for? What is it? You get what I'm saying? Ask him, what is it? Because there's a reason for everything. In all honesty, we live in a world of sin, so stop getting so surprised when bad things happen, saying, well, where is God when this happened to that person or that person? Hey, we live in a world of sin. That's just like going to McDonald's and saying, oh my gosh, they make Big Macs. Whoop-de-doo. That's what McDonald's does. This is what the world is. We are in the world of sin. That's the reason why Jesus Christ died for your life, so you didn't have to die, but it's your choice whether you want to do right or whether you want to do wrong. So the more sin, the more power it brings for destruction to happen. And there's no way you're going to get your kids back if you choose to do it the sinful way. Like, for example, when things happen, people want to do riots and stuff like that. They want to fight dirty. That's not how you're going to get your children back. You're going to have to fight the godly way, and that's through fasting and praying and fasting, and just asking God to give you the knowledge and what to do, and the wisdom and how to and to speak to the judge so they can give you your children back, and to speak to the social workers so they understand that your children really need to be with you. Now, if you're a bad parent and your children got taken to you, then they need to really be taken away. And I just pray to God that the children end up with somebody who really cares. That's a whole nother level. So just the process on getting your kids back is a godly foundation. And thumbs up to the people who ended up with their children back. So comment down below if you had got your children taken away and got them back, and just explain that experience. I think it'll help other people get through it, because it's a very hard thing to go through. So just get that godly foundation, and get a support person, somebody who's on your side, because anybody who's negative or say, man, my sister or my brother or my mama or whoever got their kids taken away, they ain't get their kids back, and this, that, you You don't need nobody negative in your ear. You need to stay around somebody who's in your corner, who's going to uplift you, who's going to pray with you, who's going to make sure that you stay on a positive note and in good spirit, because that's a hard process to go through. So with all that being said, I pray that those children who did end up in the system, that they really know who they are, and that they don't get caught up in the system mentally. You get what I'm saying? Because that is a tough road. You feel rejected. You feel unaccepted. You feel hurt. You feel like, dang, don't nobody love me, or, you know, why did this happen? You don't know because you're a child. So just know that you are loved and you are accepted and you are wonderful and fearfully made by God. Have a wonderful day, everybody.